The following is a special presentation of the PDF Sports Network.
Woo. What's going on? 9 o'clock-ish. However, it's not 9 a.m. It is 9 p.m. It has been a heck of a weekend, and not much not a lot going on, but we're going to make the most of it, and we're going to talk some football. So, as usual, let me check in with my folks. Hope everybody had an awesome weekend. We're officially in October. I'm not late because the Eagles got their first loss of the season, because to tell you the truth, we really needed to lose because we were winning ugly games that we shouldn't have won and thinking that everything's sweet. So maybe we will take it a little bit more seriously now and fix what we need to fix. I don't need overhauls and such, defend the Super Bowl champions and such. So let's talk about it. EFA, what's up? Independent guys, what's up? Bleezy's, what's up? Players Lounge, what's up? And again, as usual, I will say if I'm missing a group page, please share to whatever group page you got that I missed. And then from there, let me know. I'll enter the group and share and talk a little talk shop. So the Jersey Sharks had their first real competitive game. I want to share with you the Sunshine Bowl rankings that came out and how they ranked the leagues, which is interesting to say the least. There are certain things that we knew were going to happen, a couple of surprises, but it is what it is, especially with as many teams dropping out as they have and things going the way that they have. There's no way that you can stand on AAA football when you have 4-team leagues and 5-team leagues. It's pretty tough to do, but we're gonna talk about it. Also, we had a death in the family. The one thing that the Bleezys did an amazing job on during the course of the last couple of years was keeping those that had passed in our memories and giving a shout out every time Thursday rolled around to give our rest in peace to fallen soldiers, which was one of the things that they held on to and really reminded people that this brotherhood is more than just football and life is absolutely way too short. So, hey, what up? Good evening. So, if anybody has some words they want to talk about Roy, I absolutely will use my platform for you to share your memories of him or to say something. My condolences to him and his family and everybody that knew the gentleman. Again, just very, very tough when you have life ending way too soon. So I think that's pretty much it for the shares. So what do we got? So this is going to be a very quick one because there's not much going on. One thing that we need to cover, and I'm wondering if Drewski's around to discuss this. We were supposed to have, due to the Mother Nature doing what it do, back-to-back weeks with Pharaohs and Seminoles. It happened that I want to say that this is not a unheard of thing where when you have two teams that played each other at the end of the year, they're scheduled to play the last week of the season, and they also line up in the playoffs, that sometimes they forego the last game or skip to the next round or whatever. It's like it's called simulate till the end of the season type of thing. But here's the problematic thing. We heard over and over again about competition, comp, and all of that. And in order for you to be AAA, you have to have a certain amount of games in. And if you are already playing in a 5-team league or a 4-team league, that's going to be tough to do, especially if you do not line up against the second or third best team for all of your games. So luckily, the Seminoles were able to pick up a game against the Gravediggers, and the Gravediggers are doing pretty well. Although I have not heard the score of the Gravediggers and Demonites game, which was supposed to take place today. Somebody put in the comments what happened with that game. Please let me know. The Bandits were able to take home a 24-0 win. They played, was it the Tar Heels, and won 24-0 yesterday, and finished their regular season 7-0. I believe they're heading toward the playoffs as well as the 1 seed, and then the battle for the 2 or the 3 is the Gravediggers and the Demon Knights. So we shall see how that plays itself out. In the LAL, again, the Seminoles and Pharaohs are lining up as the 2 and the 3 seeds. It doesn't really matter who's home because they're both playing in Brooklyn anyway. Probably line that one up at Kings Bay because the Noles beat the Pharaohs in the 1 game that they actually did play. The other game was rain shortened, and on the attempt of the reschedule, with the Seminoles and Pharaohs then slated to play 3 times in a row, they scrapped the 2nd game and simulated into the playoffs. But again, we talk about Nationals pictures. By the way, a big shout out to the sponsors. Cecilia's a Girl Scout, so I try to support wherever I can, especially when you got gummy butterflies on deck. These are delicious, by the way. So that's pretty much it for the local ball, with the ECFL being dropped to AA. There was some conversation about that from my New England folks. Chimchesky had some pretty good insight on that one about the reasons why. I mean, with the Shamrocks now gone and the Admirals gone, we get it that, you know, those teams were really great teams. But does that mean that all of a sudden now everybody is conflated into AA ball and are just not as great as, you know, the people that want to reminisce? That's a tough one to understand. So, but the ECFL is down to 7 teams, really 6 teams to tell you the truth. But also keep in mind that they did that AA, AAA split for their playoff system. And I don't believe that the Sunshine Bowl honored that. It didn't look like it made any bit of a difference, because the ones that won the Bulls, who won the AAA championship, are still considered AA by Sunshine Bowl metrics. So I guess if you were AA, then you're single A by Sunshine Bowl metrics, but they don't do single A anyway. Moving on, Sharks had an awesome game, won by less than a touchdown, and this was the first real challenge for them during the course of the year. Now, we know when you look at the Sunshine Bowl, Coach Crow, big shout out to him because he does a lot. And he is not going to have his league be anything less than AAA. But you have to ask the question that if you have a Sharks team that couldn't get a win in the LAL, which a lot of people are saying is looking kind of AA right now, especially with only 4 teams, that how can a team that got swept playing in the EFA change leagues and is now beating teams 62-0, 50-something to nothing, and then only have like 1 competitive game on their way to a 5-0 record? How on earth that kind of, you know, irons itself out. But we'll get into that later on as the weeks come up and we get closer to the Sunshine Bowl. And that is pretty much it. So again, big condolences to Roy and his family and anybody that knew Roy. I know it's about 3 minutes to 9, so everybody's going to take a look at tonight's games, the NFL slate. That's pretty much it for me. Playoffs, we'll definitely do a playoff preview show, get the Bleezys going again, and try to get a little bit of momentum going into the off season and show some appreciation for you guys that are out there every weekend playing some ball. Big shout out to New York Bandits, finishing out their regular season in league undefeated. And what I am hearing is that depending on what goes on with the Lions, it might just go straight to the semifinal game. Or, again, this is problematic because you don't want to be figuring out your playoff situation midway through. They might have a play-in game between the Lions and the Tar Heels to see who gets the 4 seed. But that largely depends on where those teams are at after this particular week. But as I hear that, I'll let you guys know. We'll get some previews and get some spreads up. That's pretty much it. All right, y'all. Again, wish I could tell you more, but it's pretty quiet after this thing. Bills, Patriots are on the clock right now, so tune in and enjoy your week, and we'll check in at the end of the week. Have a good one, guys.